This is Marcus Korva with Studio MMA and MMA Nut, and we're here with Alex the Mauler Gustafsson, December 30th. It's a big card. We got some big names in that card with Alistair Overeem and Brock Lesnar, but this is your biggest fight. Feeling ready?
Yeah, I'm feeling more than ready. Just want to get in there and in the cage and fight.
It's your first time fighting for the UFC, at least a few days after Christmas. Have you ever fought that close to Christmas before?
No, never. First time.
How much do you normally cut? What do you walk around at?
I walk around about 228.
So when you found out you're fighting December 30th, were you happy about knowing that you're not going to eat any gingerbread peppercorn?
No, it could be like I could be eating that too, but then I just have to cut more. So, I'm just happy to be on the card, and it's such a big card in Vegas. It's a dream come true, so I'm not complaining.
And it's a big fight for you. It's obviously a big step up. You've had some great fights in the UFC, highlight reel, finishes, knockouts, retiring Matt Hamill. And you were set to fight Vladimir previously. Due to an injury, the fight got postponed, but now it's happening. Do you feel the pressure? You were kind of the lead for Swedish MMA as well. Do you feel the pressure at all?
Not at all. It's fun for me. I'm feeling relaxed. I know I've been through hell to in this camp, and I'm confident and no pressure at all. I just want to get in there and have fun, do my job.
It looked like you were having fun when you did fight Matt Hamill, and obviously the fighting styles are pretty similar. Is the camp pretty similar for this fight? I know you were preparing for him previously, but the camp versus Hamill versus this camp, are the big differences? Or?
No, it's not a big difference, but we made some few changes because it's not Matt Hamill we're fighting, it's Vladimir Matychenko. But as you said before, I was training to fight him before. I trained for Matt Hamill, so it's we have a little bit like a good start. We know what to do, and we know how to run the camp.
And we're here in San Diego at Alliance, which has become your adopted home for training. And we just saw you run through some vicious drills, and your stamina looks very, very good. And you're taking this seriously. You're here to stay for a while, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the most important for me is it's having fun and win my fights. That's the most important for me. And I'm blessed to be here at Alliance and training with the best coaches and the best fighters in the world. But I have a really good team at home in Sweden too, Nexus Fighter Center, where Andreas Michael, my head coach, as he's here too with me. He always comes with me. But we run a gym. I'm training at the gym at Stockholm, and that's my home base, and some good fighters.
So how long did you come out here for? When you come out to San Diego, and how did you end up here?
I will be. Sorry, I'm always here like 4 to 5 weeks before the fights to adapt to the environment and the time, and had some good sparring and train with the best coaches. And I got here because I fought Phil before, and I lost that fight, and I knew that I was lacking in wrestling, so I had to fill that hole, and that's what I did. We talked after the fight, and me and Andreas Michael went here to train with the best guy. So I've been here since the fight.
And talking about wrestling, when Phil Davis, Dominic Cruz, wrestling, and it's something not just you, but a lot of international fighters lack. We lack the wrestling. We don't grow up with wrestling the way Americans grow up with wrestling. We see it in Dan Hardy. We see it in a lot of fighters coming over here, and it seems to benefit the American fighters being inside of a cage as well, having that as a back to push you up against the cage. But we saw against Matt Hamill and even previous fights as well, you've really developed your wrestling, and more so your wrestling defense. Mm-hmm. And we see another Scandinavian fighter, Martin Kampmann, who's done the same thing, who's got a really underrated wrestling defense. Do you see mixed martial arts becoming more of a striker-friendly sport as people learn to stop the takedowns?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you start with. You start on your feet. You start striking and on your feet. But you better wrestler. You better wrestler you train with. You better take down defense you get, and that's just a process that will develop non-stop now, and I think it will continue doing that because we get more and more better wrestlers, and we get more and more better takedowns, the defense. So I don't know. for me as a striker, it should benefit me, you know, because if MMA like turns to be like a more like a striking fight than wrestling, so you know. But I train with the best guys here, and you know my takedown defense is getting better all the time, and that's what I'm good at, having standing on my feet and throw bombs.
We see a lot of international fighters coming into the UFC, and you know we had our first Swede on the Ultimate Fighter in Hamid Akira Karasani. I don't think it's a secret anymore that we will see UFC in Sweden sometime in 2012, the first 3 to 4 months. UFC fighting UFC in Sweden. Would you like to headline that card?
Absolutely, that would be also a dream come true. It would be like, that would be huge for me to fight on home ground and in my home city, and like in the biggest arena.
So you're from Arboga, a little bit north of Stockholm. Sorry, my Sweden geography isn't too good.
No, it's not. It's like in the middle into the country, more into the country, west of Stockholm, small town.
So small town, because I didn't know where it was. So, but it's about an hour from Stockholm. We're in a country where ice hockey, football, real football, not American, real football, are the two dominant sports. How did you get started in mixed martial arts?
It was a friend of me that represented me for the sport, and you know I've been trying all that, ice hockey, football, and everything, but I'm not a team player. I am a team player, don't get me wrong, but I like to compete by myself, like, and you know, like, I listen to my coaches, very good and so, but it's only me in the cage, and that's what I like the most.
And when was your MMA debut, and how did you get started with that? You came from kickboxing.
Yeah, I'm an original boxer, so I had a few fights, and my head coach is he's been in coaching for the Olympian team in Sweden in boxing, so that's my bread and butter, if you say, like, my boxing. Sorry,
How did you get? You went from kickboxing into MMA. When was your first MMA fight?
My first
side effects of fighting.
My MMA debut was in 2007, professionally.
So you're not green to the sport. Where was it? In Sweden? No, you can't have been in Sweden, right?
No, I was in Finland. Finland, yeah.
And how many fights in kickboxing do you have, or boxing as well, for that matter?
I have like maybe 20, not much, 20 amateur boxing fights, you know.
And you got into MMA, and had you done any ground training by the time you got into MMA?
Not at all. No ground training, no wrestling, nothing. So that was new for me. So, but you know, I'm learning. I'm still learning. So.
So you fight 205, and last weekend we saw the championship fight for the 205 belt, John Jones versus Machida. Is that the goal?
Yeah, absolutely. I wanna fight for the belt, and I wanna be the best in the division. That's my big goal. But you know, I take one fight at a time, and I want to win my fights. That's the most important for me.
What does John Jones bring to the table that so many other fighters haven't been able to figure out?
I think he's just like very creative, and he uses his reach very good, and you know, like very unpredictable. So if you let him do his thing, he's super dangerous.
You're a big 205 as well. You're a very, very tall guy. Size-wise, are you as tall as Jones?
I don't know. I think he's maybe a few centimeters taller than me. I think so. And a longer reach than me.
So December 30th, Sweden versus Russia, and then 31st, I presume you'll be drinking and celebrating New Year's.
Oh yeah.
Start in 2012. What's the goal for 2012?
Same there, you know, training, you know, like feel good training and having fun at my work, and compete as much as I can and win my fights.
Sounds like that's a New Year's resolution.
Yep.
Alex, looking forward to seeing you on the 30th.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you, man.